Uh, yeah.
Ladies, how are you?
Hi,
Hello.
good. How are you?
Excellent, excellent. Shannon, I was like, we don't like this for our girl. Like, she came in here with light suitcases at first when it started, and I was like, oh no. I was like, we have to jump out the window and everything. But, it turned out okay. But in the beginning, I
Yeah.
was like, oh no, she's dressed nicely and we have to jump out windows. No, ma'am.
Why are we jumping out windows?
I know, right? But let's talk about, sometimes us ladies have this fantasy of what we think our Prince Charming is supposed to look like. Meanwhile, there is someone fabulous in front of us, but meanwhile, we're blinded by this fantasy. And sometimes it's us. It doesn't mean we don't want well, but sometimes our fantasy derails us. Talk about that a little bit. Let's start with you, Shannon.
I think people fall in love with the potential of somebody. And you meet someone and you automatically fantasize about what they could be instead of seeing what's right in front of you. So you're missing a lot of these red flags. And you're like, oh, it's not red. It's like pink.
Mm.
Oh, is that orange? It's not red, you know. So a lot of that happens, and I think I am definitely guilty of this in the past. Not now. I was guilty of this. Let me put it in past tense. But I think growth is where you see what's in front of you and accept what it is they're presenting to you, and see that at face value. Believe them.
Also, you two are the polar opposites of friends. You get it. There's a time and place. You inappropriate. I was like, our girl is down and out in a snowstorm. Time and place. Sometimes you gotta keep it, as I like to say, is you gotta keep it in the drafts. You know what I mean? And understand because that's like Shannon said, we've all done silly things for love. If we look back at some of the guys we dated, we are like, ooh, child, what was I thinking? From high school on. But talk about, it's important to tell the truth, but know when to place that truth. Can we talk about that? Let's start
I
with you,
love
Anaya.
I love an honest person. My mother is very, very to the point, straight shooter, and I love that and I appreciate that. And I love friends who give that to me as well. Yeah. And
What
Anaya
about
has
you,
mentioned that
ladies?
too as
And
a
I'm looking at you, Anaya. I'm like, the jokes, I get it. In here, I was with you. In my heart, I was like, no, girl, not right now.
but
She
it
needed,
comes from love, you know?
yeah, I was gonna say she needed that tough love. Joy needed that knock upside the head, you know what I mean? And it came from a sweet place, but Lydia is just one of those no nonsense friends that's like, hey, I need you to recognize your worth and see you the way I see you. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And that's important for a friendship circle. We all need that one person in our circle, for sure.
Absolutely. And what do
Absolutely.
you, like I said, is what do you want the ladies to really take away from? Because again, I think when we all kind of like just get out of our box a little bit, the possibilities open up. I can definitely say that. I met my husband stepping out of the box. So, what do you want ladies to get away from, to get out of this other than please don't let it get that far where you're jumping out the window?
Know when to jump out the window.
Yeah.
Know when to jump out the window, girl, even if you is wearing Chanel.
On that note, well, and again, ladies, I so love this, and I'm really happy for you, Shannon, because we've been out here. We're like, when is our girl? And I'm gonna put this out here for you because your face card never declines. We need these cosmetic
Thank you
contracts.
so much.
Hello, we
Yes,
Ah,
need that.
yes. I would love
yes.
Hello,
that. That would
people.
be
We
so
we
nice.
need
Thank
that
you so
because
much.
the face be given all the time, and I'm like,
Oh, thank you
hello,
so
Maybelline, somebody. She's
Mhm.
out here ready
much.
for you.
Period.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, period. Thank you, Susan. How are you?
Katya, how you doing? I'm good. I'm good.
So you go and you rescue her, you trying to be a stand-up guy and she putting you in the rotten category. You're like, girl.
You know what?
You
Thank you.
could have been left out there frozen and never to be heard from again. Can we
Yeah,
at least get a thank you?
thank you. Thank you for saying that too, because everybody wants to ask me, why is Rich so mean? But the truth is, the first thing he did was save her life. And then he has to deal with attitude after attitude. I mean, come on. Can a brother get some respect? I mean, come on.
I know, right? I want to be like, here's the bill to the guy that put you in this mess because I'm gonna need some reparations, you know?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I was saying to Shannon and the ladies, I go that I think one of the challenges is, and I'll say this as women, right? We have since we've been playing in Barbies, we have this fantasy of being princesses and how our guy's going to look and what the wedding's going to look like. And
Mhm.
we sometimes will not deviate off of the plan. We're like, no, no, no. This is what we have worked out, right? Which sometimes make us miss out on good guys, right? They may not come in the packaging or maybe a little not as smooth, but still good intentions. Can you talk a little bit about that? Because I'm like, girl, hint, 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 and hint, hint.
Yeah, yeah. I love that question. I think that's spot on. Like a lot of times we have a checklist, and I think sometimes it does a disservice to us because we close our eyes to what's right in front of us. And here's a man, here's Ridge, who he's very sacrificial to help you survive. And, you know, there's so much more he's trying to do just to feed you and keep you alive, but he just doesn't come off as city polite as you are used to. And so there's something for us all to learn about how, you know, sometimes we prejudge and overly judge a person just because of our own biases and our own expectations, but they have a lot more to offer us if we just be a little bit more open-minded about it.
I was like, at least he's dependable. At least he shows up. And you can, I'm like, again, you can count on him. And I think, again, he also, she doesn't even think for 1 minute that he may have gone through some things that makes him be like, oh no, girl, I just want you to get better. So I'm put you back in this little car and you can keep on pushing, because she's
Right.
so warped up in her stuff. Can you talk about that too?
Yeah.
Because again,
So
we don't ever think about guys having gone through that. We're like, oh, he'll be just fine.
yeah. So what I'm hearing from you is you're Team Rich. You're Team Rich for sure.
Yes, because I
Yeah.
was like, yes, he's not as smooth. That we definitely need to work on our people skills, but the intent is good, and we know you can depend on him because he could have just been like, you know what, not my problem, and went back to the cabin when he
Yeah.
saw her floating there. So I definitely and am on your side because we do not like the other gentleman at all. No, no, no. I was just like.
Yeah.
As you're watching it, you cannot be this clueless. But no, I'm definitely on your side. Appreciate
Yeah.
you.
The other gentleman, it seemed like maybe there wasn't enough chemistry to
No, he's clueless. Yes, he's just, and not dependable.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Because I'm like, she's missing.
yeah.
Were you like, hello, anybody, But yes, I was definitely on your side and was, as we like to do, talking to the TV, like,
You was yelling at the
you
TV.
can work on the people skills. We can work on that.
I hope you didn't throw anything at the TV.
No, no, but I was like, girl, we can work on that. We can smooth him out just a little bit. The other guy, we just gotta say it's in God's hands.
Now, the ending, you were good with the way it ended then?
Yeah, I,
Good.
I am, and we need the joy. We do. And you know why? We need the joy. We need to lean in, put on our good comfy pajamas and just be like, you know what? Let's escape
Yeah.
in a good way. That's what's most important about this. So I appreciate you, and
Yeah.
I'm on
And,
your
and and
side.
I think you just reminded me that what's beautiful is there isn't so much a bad guy in this film. It's just a lot of people trying to figure out life and love. And that is really real because sometimes in life it's not we can't always just pin things on a bad person. It's just you have to navigate it for yourself and you have to find your own joy. And that's the journey.
100%. He's not bad. He's just, you know what? We just gonna put him like elf on the shelf.
Yeah.
Let him work it out. And then meanwhile, we are
Put him
going to
on the
slide
shelf.
you. Yes, absolutely.
Just, just sit him right over there.
Right over here. And let
Yeah.
him work it out while you slide on in, you know? Thank you. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.